Hey, y'all, we had to start it over. And so I'm going to start this lesson again. Talking about regret, right? Wow. God will do it. 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 I'm going to give folks just a time to gather. Sophia, thank you. Thank y'all. I just had to stop it and start it again. We had some technical difficulties. Yes. Thank you, Umizop. Yes, thank you, Hunt, Karen Hunt. Appreciate you. Yes, thank y'all for jumping back in. Thank you. Thank y'all for hanging with me. Yes, that's how we do it as people. Thank you for hanging with me. Appreciate it. Love y'all for that. Yes, that's how we do it. Yes, it doesn't mean quit. This was so good. It doesn't mean quit. It doesn't mean quit. Doesn't mean stop. It means jump back in, and that's just what I did. Come on, y'all. See, I got the lesson myself. And the deep thing is I was talking about regret. Tosha. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Spirit is so deep. I could waste my time regretting now that the previous video didn't work. Or I could jump back in and do it again. And so here I am. And I was talking about regret. Thank you, Obata. I was talking about regret, right? So I want to start that again. Be careful, elders, of robbing young people of their lesson. Be careful, elders, of robbing young people of their elders. Be careful of softening a young person's consequence because we feel bad about it. Does somebody understand what I'm saying to you? Be careful, elders, of trying to make life easier for the young person than what you experienced. Because what's going to happen in just 1 minute is they won't have the strength you have. God help me. They won't have the fortitude you have. They won't have the integrity you have. They won't have the power you have. My grandma used to say, they ain't got no stick-to-itiveness. Why? Why don't they? Because we softened their lesson. We couldn't bear watching them struggle. Stay with me, somebody. Stay with me. Oh, God, stay with me. We couldn't bear, seemingly, them being in pain. But I'm here to tell you that the greatest regret in the world is absolutely cheating a person out of the fullness of their life's lesson. Because later you're going to look for integrity. You're going to look for work ethic. Later you're going to look for their ability to stand in the middle of a storm, and they'll be sleeping in your basement. Why? And that's where you'll have the regret. The regret will be that you did not create the person you dreamed they'd be. You cannot save a person from their lessons and think you're going to get a gigantic tree when you get finished. You're going to get a weak sapling is what you're going to get. Come on, Drew Brown. Come on. Mombe. Yes, my brother Mombe. Do y'all feel what I'm saying? This thing is serious. This is serious, y'all. It's serious. This thing is serious. You cannot save young people from their lesson and think you're going to get a strong character in the end. No, it will not do. It will not work. There's nothing to save our young people from. We've given our young people all the tools they need in order to not just survive, but in order to thrive. Now, if a person chooses not to, they get that choice too. But you can't take a young person's choice as evidence of your worth as an elder. You can't let a young person's decision be a reflection of how much you think you loved them. Come on, somebody. If so, we're about to ruin a child's ability to get deeply rooted because every time they have to struggle, we save them from it. Let's stop cutting our young people's lessons short, and they will get it. Running to freedom, no taxi came along for Harriet Tubman. There was no speed reading internet for W.E.B. Du Bois. That's why we know their names. Because they paid the price. We're trying to figure out how our children can be excellent and pay half the price. Young elders, you're going to get half the excellence out of them. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. And what I'm trying to talk about is regret. Let's not regret. Let's not regret giving to young people and then looking at when someone's 20 years old, when someone's 19, when someone's 35, looking for someone to stand up as a stalwart man, a stalwart woman who can handle anything. No, because they ain't handled no thing. If a child don't struggle with anything, they can't handle nothing. Come on. I get it. I get it. I get it. Ooh, I get it. Y'all, some of us as elders, some of us are giving our children our own childhood issues. So we're giving children what we wish someone had given us as adults. Stay with me. Stay with me. We're giving our children what we wish someone had given us as adults. But what the great God above is trying to show us is the lack of some things is why you as an adult, it's why you as an elder now, that's why you own a house. That's why you graduated from school. Come on, somebody. That's why you drive a car that's paid for. That's why you can always buy gas. Come on, somebody. Listen, that's why our job as elders is to create a yearning in a young person to want to do more, not to give them more, to create a yearning in them to want more. And how do you create a yearning? By giving minimally. Come on, somebody. Somebody feels me. You give minimally that the child might yearn for more, and then they go get it. Listen, we're giving our children so much that we're ruining their yearning. You can't yearn for sneakers when you own 35 pair. I can't hear nobody. If you have 2 closets of clothes as a kid, why would you yearn to work hard? What would you work hard for? Y'all, the regret of an elder is going to be skipping a child past hard lessons. Because what you're going to look for when that child becomes an adult, it's going to be impossible to find it. They're not going to have it for you. They're not going to have it for you. And one day we'll realize, oh my God, it's because when the universe sent them the lesson, I intercepted it. And an interception never allows the team to win. Come on, I'm talking good. An interception means the other team wins. Let that child cry. Let that child struggle. I was just keeping a child earlier today named Zola, wonderful little boy. Hey, Zola, if you're watching, awesome kid. He was running across my yard and he fell down and he fell flat on his face, right? And he started crying, just wailing. I sat there, I never moved. I said, Zola, stand up. Baba, I fell down. Stand up. Baba, can you come get me? No, sir. Stand up. He wailed and cried, and I never moved. I was sitting in a fold-up chair. I said, I'm not coming. I said, Zola, stand up. After a while, you know what he did? He realized I wasn't coming. Somebody's going to get this. And Zola got up. And you know what? In 5 minutes, he was playing again as if it never happened. He got the lesson. He got the lesson. But how did I know to do it? Because I've paid the price. I have saved so many young people from their lessons, and follow me. And then a month later, they needed me again for the same lesson. It was my fault. It was my fault. It was my fault. Oh my God, a child's in school and he needs a book. What we do as elders is, let me just buy you this book. See, what we're supposed to do is, Young person, I'm more than willing to buy you this book. Come by my office and rearrange my books on the shelf. Come by my office and clean up my file cabinet in exchange for this book. My grandmother used to tell me something, and then I'm going to go to point number 2. My grandmother used to say, don't never owe nobody. Don't never owe nobody. She would not let people give me money. Oh, I used to be so mad at her. People would say, let me give him $1, Stella, so he can buy him a soda pop. She said, no, but if you got some trash he can take out, he can do that. This thing is so deep. It's so deep. It's so deep. Oh, Irafe, it's so deep. She would never let anybody give me any money. I did not get that until I left to go to college. Because you know what she was teaching me? Live in such a way that nothing you have to give authorship to somebody else if you can help it. Earn it yourself. Then it becomes yours. When people give you something, it's really theirs. They've just loaned it to you. That means they can come back and get it at any time. Huh? They can come back and get it at any time. Make a child earn it. Then we won't regret the kind of character they have as adults. Number 2, there are many elders who have done this, right? Now stay with me now. Stay with me. Many elders have done this, and kids were mad. There are many teachers who have done this, and students were mad. Let them be mad. That's right. Because elders, listen. When you've given your all, wait the results in peace. Not in regret and wondering. Young people can be mad. Listen, a young person's emotions change like the wind. Khalif Lewis, I see you, my great nephew. A young person's emotions change like the wind. A young person being mad is nothing but that's a synonym for manipulation. When you're giving your all, great elders, wait the result in peace. When you told your child, you can't smoke weed in my house, so you have to leave here, and they're outside on a park bench, go to bed. Go to bed. Teach yourself to go to bed. Honor yourself. Honor yourself. Give your best. No parents, no elders, no teachers are perfect. Give your best now. Give your best. And when you realize you've been wrong, correct it. Absolutely. In fact, I'm going to there next. I'm going to that point next. But this point is, give your all and wait the results in peace. In peace. That's right. Now, point number 3. Elders, distinguish between correction and regret. Correction is when you discover that you have fallen short of your principle. Correction is when you discover that you made a decision that was not wise. That's correction. And we as elders should go, not to just each other, we should go to young people. We should go to our own children and say, listen, I didn't do well in that, in this or that. You know what? I made a mistake. Forgive me. Forgive me. I was wrong. That is honorable to do. That saves you from regret. Correction is absolutely right to do. Don't be so self-righteous as an elder or as a parent that you cannot tell a child, I'm sorry, I was wrong. That is good character in an elder. That should be done. Now, distinguish that from regret. And that means if there's something you believed was right, in your heart you believed it was right, and a person, a peer, a young person, whatever, did not agree with you and still doesn't, that is not for you to work out. If you thought it was right and if you understood that thing to be right and it's never been shown to you and you've never come to understand, right, that it wasn't, other people disagreeing does not mean change your mind. It doesn't mean change your mind. It means that a young person is going to have to live with the fact that this is what I said. This is what I said. And I could be wrong, but this is what I said. And this is what I think is right. Any person, if you live long enough, will turn around. Any person who's lived long enough will turn around and realize some things I said was not right. That is an elder's job to do. But you got to stand on what you think is right today. You have to do that. What you cannot do is cower to what a person wants in order that they might be happy with you. Because let me say something to you, oh God Almighty elders. A child happy with you is not necessarily a compliment to you. A child being happy with you is not necessarily a compliment to you. Listen, don't you know the people we bow before are the people who rode us the hardest? Somebody's going to get this in a minute. You know the teachers we always praise as people once we become adults? The teachers we praise are the hard ones. We always say, ooh, let me tell you about Mr. So-and-so. He didn't play. Or Miss So-and-so, listen, Miss So-and-so, you had to have your paper a certain kind of way. If your paper had smudge marks on it, she'd give it back to you. We're saying all of this in praise. Come on, somebody. We say all of this in glory of that teacher whom we hated and cussed out. That's the one we're praising. That easy teacher that we could all get over on, we don't even know her name. We don't even know his name now. That teacher who didn't take no crap, that teacher who insisted on excellence, that's the one we boast about years later. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. We say things even now like, my mama didn't play. But when we wanted to play, it wasn't playful. Come on, somebody. We wasn't bragging about mama when we were 10, but we're bowing before her now. And an elder, my last point, an elder has to have enough internal wherewithal. An elder has to have enough self-security. Come on, somebody. An elder has to have enough internal fortitude that you don't need a young person's applause in order for y'all to walk upright. Come on. An elder's got to be secure enough within themselves that a child being angry with you is nothing but an afterthought. Nothing but an afterthought. The child will come back to you. How do you know? Because all of us did it. All of us did it. I had one of the hardest teachers in I had so many amazing teachers as an undergrad at Clark Atlanta University. Dr. Jocelyn Jackson, Dr. Janice Lydell, Dr. Leroy Martin. Hard. When I tell you they didn't play with you, when I tell you they did not, when they said that paper is due Friday at 1 o'clock, bring it at 1:05 if you want to. Baby, you will have an F. F. Did you hear me? F. Go on to the dean if you want to. You will have an F. And it made me start writing papers the night before. Come on, somebody. And printing it the night before. Because I couldn't run the risk. But I adore these teachers now. To this day, when I see these teachers, I almost get weepy-eyed. Because they made me excellent. Yes, I was willing to be raggedy. Absolutely, I was willing to be raggedy. I was trying to negotiate my raggediness with them. And they said, hell no. Somebody please get blessed. Elders, I'm really trying to free you. What I'm really trying to do, elders, is free you from the weight of people who didn't agree with you as you were loving them. I'm really trying to free you. Get free. Get free. Get free. If you love them with all your might, go to bed. Get you a glass of wine, put your feet up, and wait until they grow up. That was good to me. Put your feet up and wait until they grow up. Hey, somebody, God Almighty. God Almighty, that thing blesses me. If everybody lives long enough, your turn will come to be the student and the teacher. Your turn will come to be the initiate and the elder. Your turn will come to be the parent and the child. And the job of an elder, the job of a teacher, the job of a parent is to be clear that your job is to get the child excellent, but the child won't agree with you. You ever seen people plant trees, right? And they plant these they plant these trees and they tie these strings and they put these stakes around these trees. You ever seen it? Uh-huh. It's usually a small tree, a young tree, and they'll have string, and they have these stakes, and they put these stakes in the ground, and these strings are attached to the trunk of the tree. Why? Hey! The string and the stake are forcing the tree to grow straight. And in a minute, the tree will be straight. And you can take the string off and you can remove the stakes, and it will continue in the same path in which you have directed it. But it will be your fault if you plant that sapling. And then in a minute, it starts growing this way. Why? Because the wind and the rain, the storms came and it couldn't withstand it. And so it leaned. Come on, somebody. It leaned. Hey! And so now you have a leaning tree whose shade is awkward, whose growth is not clear. God Almighty, help me. Help me. Baba Bakari, help me. That is what you should be regretful of. Don't be regretful of the young tree that you tie, if you will, the limitations around in order that it might grow upright. It can hate them, and that's fine. And in a minute, when its shade is so perfect, oh God, in a minute when its shade is so excellent, in a minute when it can reach toward the sun in every direction, it will turn to you and say, it is good. It is good. You have done me well. Elders, I thank you. Most of you, you have done us well. You are good. You planted seeds that have changed our lives. As you sit and wait out this COVID season, we celebrate you. We love you. We thank you. We bow before you. And we're grown enough now. We're grown enough now to say we appreciate the hard lessons. Because the hard lessons made us excellent. Ashe.